Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So today we'll start with perfect questions and perfect answers, which is the conversations between His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupāda, who is founder Acharya of the ISKCON Society, and Bob Cohen, who is a Peace Corps worker in India. So let's start with the introduction. This is a reading session of Prabhupada books. So my brother will tell, or my brother says,
Let me begin with the introduction.
Yeah.
A perfectly presumptions titled. 30 years have passed since I have sat near the Ganges River having the conversation described in this book. Since it was first published in 1976, I have shared my many copies. Often it has been difficult to explain away a title that talks about my perfect questions. For in 1972, I was 22-year-old and quite far from perfection. Yet my partner in conversation, Srila Prabhupāda, suggested the title Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers, and he was quite humble about himself. How did all these perfect questions come about? My conservative Jewish family instilled in me an inner longing to understand God. Self-discovery and anti-wars protests highlighted my college years. Though in 1971 I did manage to graduate from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute with a degree in chemistry, in that milieu of introspection and protest, I became fascinated by the Hare Krishna chant, which I first heard in the late 60s in Greenwich Village, and by the Bhagavad Gita, the primer on yoga. I learned that yoga means union with word. The concept of yoga attracted me, yet did not contradict the tenets of my upbringing. Still, the presentation of yoga in America troubled me. Every week, the New York Daily News ran a centerfold of the latest Indian guru proclaiming his enlightenment to the world. Who could I trust? It seemed I need to go to the source, mystical, far away India. After college, the Peace Corps looked like an attractive way for me to explore India, live in a village, learn the language, and genuinely check out the Gita and the chanting. India was not as I had imagined. Abject poverty was, I discovered, for the most part an urban phenomenon. Though beggars swarmed through the cities, the countryside was lush with farms and peaceful villages of content people. A subtle, elusive transcendence permeated everything. After starting my assignment as a high school science teacher in Bihar, I began visiting temples, mosques, and churches. It was disenchanting. The congregations were not seeking realization, they were seeking money, good luck, and prestige. It was a religious version of the 70s TV show Let's Make a Deal. Had I traveled halfway around the world and endured Delhi Belly only to find the same shallow values I had seen in materialistic America? I met various gurus but remained unimpressed. My existential search began to go up in smoke. In February 1972, I visited Calcutta during a school break. They were the Hare Krishna devotees, mostly Westerners, chanting just as I did seen them in Greenwich Village. They invited me to visit a retreat 100 miles north of Calcutta. Deciding it fit in well with my quest, I agreed. We took a train through the Verdhan Bengali countryside to Mayapur, a beautiful spot near the Ganges River. Upon arriving, I discovered that Mayapur was more of a planned retreat for now. It was a recently purchased rice paddy with tents and a hut. However, the paddy was near a sacred birthplace of the famed medieval saint Sri Chaitanya, and in the hut was the founder of the international Krishna movement himself, an elderly gentleman named Srila Prabhupāda. His followers were busy running a soup kitchen for many refugees from the recent Indo-Pakistan war. I plunked down in the men's tent and volunteered for the food relief effort. There were 60 or so Krishna followers, mostly American or European and under 25 years old. They were enthusiastic to say the least. Many were anxious to share their persuasion with the only English speaking guest, me. However, I was invited to meet Srila Prabhupada, and I sensed that this was the reason I had come to India. Now, for the perfect questions part that has caused me so much discomfort. The Bhagavad Gita, the primer of transcendence, includes the admonition for a seeker. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from his submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge onto you because they have seen the truth. According to the instruction, there are three qualifications for the novice: visit the Guru, inquire without challenging, assist the Guru in the some way. The Gita suggests that the Guru can impart knowledge when these three conditions are met. My intention in visiting Srila Prabhupada was to explore rather than to contend. After meeting and studying many self-proclaimed instructors, I was extremely skeptical, yet Srila Prabhupada's followers intrigued me. Once I got past their zealousness, I found a genuine blend of mysticism and renunciation along with the convincing explications. I resolved to spend my time with Srila Prabhupada, learning rather than challenging. Later on, I could always decide to accept or reject what I had heard. In this way, I met the first and second of the Gita's three credentials. The Famine Relief Program of the Krishna movement also occupied my day, so I was able to meet number three as well. From Srila Prabhupada's points of view, I was following the Gita's edicts, hence perfect questions. Meanwhile, Srila Prabhupada answered my question based on the perception from the Gita. The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. Srila Prabhupada answered my questions based on the ancient system of disciplic succession, repeating what he had heard from previous authorities and not making up anything up. Thus, I had perfect answers for my respectful questions, presented by a humble messenger of his preceders. The first conversation I had with Srila Prabhupada was not recorded by his secretary. Therefore, the book begins without our introductions and initial dialogue. All the substantive matters begin with the second dialogue, the first chapter. May reading my conversation with Srila Prabhupada lead you to your own perfection. Bob Cohen.
Chapter 1, Krishna, the all attractive. This interview happened in Mayapur, India. So he'll play as Bob and I'll play as Srila Prabhupada. Yeah.
Bob. What is the meaning of the name Krishna?
Krishna means all attractive.
All attractive?
Yes. So unless God is all attractive, how can he be God? A man is important when he is attractive, is he not?
It is so.
So God must be attractive and attractive for all. Therefore, if God has any name, or if you want to give any name to God, only Krishna can be given.
But why only the name Krishna?
Because he's all attractive. Krishna means all attractive. God has no name, but by his qualities we give him names. If a man is very beautiful, we call him beautiful. If a man is very intelligent, we call him wise. So the name is given according to the quality. Because God is all attractive, the name Krishna can be applied only to him. Krishna means all attractive. It includes everything.
But what about a name meaning all powerful?
Yes, unless you are all powerful, how can you be all attractive?
Shyamasundar, Srila Prabhupada's secretary. The name Krishna includes everything.
Everything. He must be very beautiful, he must be very wise, he must be very powerful, he must be very famous.
Is Krishna attractive or to rascals?
Oh, yes, he was the greatest rascal also.
How is that?
Because he was always teasing the gopis.
Teasing?
Yes. Sometimes when Radharani would go out, Krishna would attack her. And when she would fall down, Krishna, don't torture me that way. They would fall down and Krishna would take the opportunity and kiss her. He laughed. So Radharani was very pleased, but superficially, Krishna was the greatest rascal. So unless rascaldom is in Krishna, how can rascaldom exist in this world? Wow. Our formula of God is that He is the source of everything. Unless rascaldom is in Krishna, it could not be manifest here because He is the source of everything. But His rascaldom is so nice that everyone worships His rascaldom.
What about the rascals who are not so nice?
No, rascaldom is not nice, but Krishna is absolute. He is God. Therefore, His rascaldom is also good. Krishna is all good, God is good.
Yes.
Therefore, when he become a rascal, that is also good. Rascaldom is not good, but when it is practiced by Krishna, that rascaldom is also good. Because he's absolutely good, this one has to be understood.
Are there some people who do not find Krishna attractive?
No, all people will find him attractive. Who is not attractive? Just give me an example. This man or this living entity is not attracted to Krishna. Just find such a person.
Somebody who wishes to do things in life that he may feel are wrong, but who wishes to gain power or prestige or money may find God unattractive. He may not find God attractive because gives him guilt.
No, not God. No, not God. His attraction is to become powerful. A man wants to become powerful or rich, is it not? But nobody is richer than Krishna, therefore Krishna is all attractive to him.
Somebody who wishes to do, if a person who wants to become rich prays to Krishna, will he become rich?
Oh, yes, because Krishna is all powerful. If you pray to Krishna to become rich, Krishna will make you rich.
If somebody lives an evil life but prays to become rich, he may still become rich.
Yes, praying to Krishna is not evil. So, somehow or other he prays to Krishna, so you cannot say that he is evil.
Yes.
Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, apichet sudar apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadur evasa mahantavya. Have you read it?
Yes, the Sanskrit I don't know, but the English I do. Even if the most evil man prays to me, he will be elevated.
Yes, as soon as he begins to pray to Krishna, that is not evil. Therefore, Krishna is all attractive. It is said in the Vedas that the absolute truth or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a reservoir of all pleasure. Raso Vaisa. So everyone is hankering after someone because he realizes some mellow in it.
Excuse me?
Some mellow. Like, suppose a man is drinking. Why is he drinking? He's getting some mellow out of that drinking. A man is hankering after money because by possessing money, he gets a mellow out of it.
What does mellow mean?
How do you define a mellow?
Taste, pleasure.
Okay. Pleasing taste. So the Vedas say raso vai sa. The exact translation of mellow is rasa. Okay. What is that?
Eggplant fried.
Oh, all attractive, all attractive.
What is a scientist?
One who knows things as they are.
He thinks he knows things as they are.
What?
He hopes he knows things as they are.
No, he's supposed to know. We approach the scientist because he's supposed to know things correctly. A scientist means one who knows things as they are.
How is Krishna the greatest scientist?
Because he knows everything. A scientist is one who knows a subject matter thoroughly. Krishna knows everything, so he's the greatest scientist.
I am presently a science teacher.
Yes, but unless you have perfect knowledge, how can you teach? This is our question.
Without perfect knowledge, though, you can teach.
That is cheating. That is not teaching. That is cheating. The scientists say there was a chunk and the creation took place. Perhaps, maybe. What is this? Simply cheating. It is not teaching. It is cheating.
Without perfect knowledge, can I not teach some things? For example, I may.
You can teach up to the point you know.
Yes, but I should not claim to teach more than I know.
Yes, that is teaching, cheating.
In other words, he can't teach the truth with partial knowledge.
Yes, that is not possible for any human being. A human being has imperfect senses. So, how can he teach perfect knowledge? Suppose you see the sun as a disk. You have no means to approach the sun. If you say that we can see the sun by telescope and this and that, and they are also made by you, and you are imperfect. So, how can your machine be perfect? Therefore, your knowledge of the sun is imperfect. So, don't teach about the sunless until you have perfect knowledge. That is cheating.
But what about teaching? That is, suppose that the sun is 93 million miles away.
As soon as you say it is supposed, it is not scientific.
But I think that almost all science, then it is not scientific.
That is the point.
All science is based on, suppositions or this or that.
Yes, they are teaching imperfectly. Just like they are advertising so much about the moon, do you think their knowledge is perfect?
No.
Then,
what is the proper duty of a teacher in the society? Let us say a science teacher. What should he be doing in the classroom?
classroom, you should simply teach about Krishna.
He should not teach about.
No, that will include everything. His aim should be to know Krishna.
Can a scientist teach the science of combining acid and alkali, this kind of science with Krishna as its object?
How can it be?
When one studies science, one finds general tendencies of nature, and these general tendencies of the nature point to the controlling force.
That I was explaining the other day. I asked a chemist whether, according to chemical formulas, hydrogen and oxygen linked together become water. Do they not?
Yes, it's true.
Now, there is a vast amount of water in the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. What quantity of chemicals was required?
How much?
Yes, how many tons?
Many.
So, who supplied it?
This was supplied by God.
Somebody must have supplied it.
Yes.
So, that is science. You can teach like that.
Should one bother teaching that if you combine acid and alkali, they form a neutral?
The same thing. There are so many effervescences. So, who is making them? Who is supplying the acid and alkali?
They come from the same source as the water.
Yes, you cannot manufacture water unless you have hydrogen and oxygen. So, there are vast oceans, not only the Atlantic and Pacific. There are millions of planets and there are millions of Atlantic and Pacific oceans. So, who created this water with hydrogen and oxygen? And how was it supplied? That is our question. Somebody must have supplied it. Otherwise, how has it come into existence?
But should it also be taught how you make water from hydrogen and oxygen, the procedure of bringing them together? Should this also be taught?
That is secondary. That is not very difficult. Just like Malati made this puri, that which is a kind of bread. So there is flour, there is ghee, and she made a puri. But unless there is ghee and flour, where is the chance of making a puri? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna makes a statement: water, earth, air, fire, they are my energies. What is your body? The external body, that is your energy. Do you know that? Your body is made out of your energy. For example, I am eating.
Yes.
So I'm creating some energy and therefore my body is maintained.
Oh, I see.
So therefore, your body is made out of energy.
But when you eat the food, there is energy from the sun in the food.
So I'm giving an example. I'm creating some energy by digesting the food and that is maintaining my body. If your energy supply is not proper, then your body becomes weak or unhealthy. Your body is made out of your own energy. Similarly, this gigantic cosmic body, the universe, is made of Krishna's energy. How can you deny it? As your body is made out of your energy, so the universal body must be made by somebody's energy. That is Krishna.
I'll have to think about it to follow that.
What is to follow? It is a fact. Your hair is growing daily. Why? Because you have some energy.
The energy I obtain from my food.
A devotee. Just like aren't the planets in the universe the sun's energy, a product of the sun's energy? Srila Prabhupada. Yes, but who produced the sun? That is Krishna's energy. Sun is simply heat. And Krishna says, Bhumir apo nalo vayu. Anala. Heat. That is my energy. The sun is a representation of the heating energy of Krishna. It is not your energy. You cannot say the sun is made by me, but somebody must have made it. And Krishna says that he did. So we believe Krishna, therefore we are Krishnites.
Krishnaites?
Yes, and therefore our knowledge is perfect. If I say that heat is the energy of Krishna, you cannot deny it because it is not your energy. In your body, there is some certain amount of heat. Similarly, the sun's heat is someone's energy. And who is this person? That is Krishna. Krishna says, yes, it is my energy. So my knowledge is perfect because I take the version of the greatest scientist. I am the greatest scientist. I may be a full personality, but because I take knowledge from the greatest scientist and the greatest scientist, I have no difficulty.
Excuse me?
I have no difficulty in becoming the greatest scientist because I take knowledge from the greatest scientist. We accept what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. This earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. These are my 8 separated energies.
They are separated energies?
Yes, just like this milk. What is this? Milk. Separated energy of the cow. Is it not? It is a manifestation of the separated energy of the cow.
Is it like a byproduct?
Yes.
So what is the significance of this energies being separated from Krishna?
Separated means that it is made out of the body of the cow, but it is not the cow. That is separation.
So this earth and all is made out of Krishna, but it is not Krishna.
It is not Krishna, or you cannot say it is Krishna or not Krishna simultaneously. That is our philosophy. One and different. You cannot say that the things of the world are different from Krishna because without Krishna, they have no existence. At the same time, you cannot say, then, let me worship water. Why worship Krishna? The pantheists say that because everything is God, whatever we do is God worship. This is Mayavad philosophy. That because everything is made of God's energy, therefore everything is God. But our philosophy is that everything is God, but also not God.
Is there anything on earth that is God?
Yes. In one sense, everything here is God because everything is made out of the energy of God. But that does not mean that by worshipping anything, you are worshipping God.
So what is on earth that is not Maya, illusion?
Maya means energy.
It means energy?
Yes. And other meaning of Maya is illusion. So, foolish persons accept the energy as the energetic. That is Maya. Suppose the sunshine enters your room. Sunshine is the energy of the sun. But simply because the sunshine enters your room, you cannot say that the sun has entered. If the sun itself enters your room, then your room and yourself, everything will be finished. Right? So immediately you will not have the leisure to understand that the sun has entered. Is it not?
It is so.
Still, you cannot say that the sunshine is not the sun. Without the sun, where is the sunshine? But at the same time, it is not the sun. It is the sun and not the sun. Both. That is our philosophy. Achintya Veda Veda. Inconceivable difference and non-difference. In the material sense, you cannot conceive that a thing is simultaneously positive and negative. But that is the spiritual reality. And because everything is Krishna's energy, Krishna can manifest himself from any energy. Therefore, when we worship Krishna in a form made of something of earth, stone, metal, or something like that, that is Krishna. You cannot say that is not Krishna. When we worship the metal form of Krishna, the deity that is from the temple, that is Krishna. That's a fact because metal is an energy of Krishna's. Therefore, it is not different from Krishna, and Krishna is so powerful that he can present himself fully in his energy. So, this deity worship is not heathenism. It is actually worship of God, provided you know the process.
If you know the process, then the deity becomes Krishna.
Not becomes, it is Krishna.
The deity is Krishna, but only if you know the process.
Yes, just like the electric wire, it is electricity. One who knows the process can derive electricity out of it.
Otherwise, it's just a wire.
Just wire.
So, if I build a statue of Krishna, it is not Krishna unless
it is Krishna. But you have to know the process of understanding that it is Krishna. It is Krishna.
It is not just earth and mud.
No, earth has no separate existence without Krishna. Krishna says earth is my energy. You cannot separate the energy from the energetic. It is not possible. You cannot separate heat from the fire. Still, fire is different from the heat, and heat is different from the fire. You are feeling the heat. That does not mean that you are touching fire. Fire, in spite of emanating heat, keeps its identity. Similarly, although Krishna, by his different energies, creating everything, he remains Krishna. The Mayavada philosophers think that if Krishna is everything, then Krishna's separate identity is lost. That is material thinking. For example, by my drinking this milk little by little, when I finish, there is no more milk. It has gone to my belly. Krishna is not like that. He is omnipotent. We are utilizing his energy continuously. Still, he is there, present. A crude example. A man begets many children, but the man is still there. It is not that because he has produced many children, he is finished. Similarly, God or Krishna, in spite of his unlimited number of children, is still there. Puranasya Puranam Adya Purana Eva Vashishyate. Because he's the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remained the complete balance. That is Krishna consciousness. Krishna is never finished. Krishna is so powerful. Therefore, he is all attractive. That is one side of the display of Krishna's energy. Similarly, he has unlimited energies. This study of Krishna's energy is only one side or a portion only. So, in this way, if you go on studying Krishna, that is Krishna consciousness, it is not a bogus thing. Maybe, perhaps not, absolutely it is.
And the study itself is never finished.
No, how can it be? Krishna has unlimited energy. Continue. Chapter 2. Vedic culture, Varṇāśrama-dharma. This interview happened in Mayapur, India.
Bob, I have asked devotees about how they feel towards sex in their relations, and I see the way they feel, but I can't see myself acting the same way. See, I'll be getting married at the end of this summer.
Hmm?
I'll be getting married at the end of this summer, in September or August, when I return to America. And the devotees say that the householders only have sex or to conceive a child. And I cannot picture myself at all in such a position. What kind of sex life can a devotee lead, living in this material world?
Srila Prabhupada. The Vedic principle is that one should avoid sex life altogether. The whole Vedic principle is to get liberation from material bondage. There are different attachments for material enjoyment, of which sex life is the topmost. The Bhagavatam says that in this material world, man is attached to woman and woman is attached to man. Pumsa striya maithuna bhavam etam. Not only in human society, in animal society also. That attachment is the basic principle of material life. So a woman is hankering for or seeking after the association of a man, and man is hankering for or seeking the association of a woman. All the fiction novels, dramas, cinemas, and even ordinary advertisements that you see simply depict the attachment between man and woman. Even in the terror shop, you will find in the window some woman and some man. So this attachment is already there.
Attachment between man and woman?
Yes. So if you want to get liberation from the material world, then the attachment should be reduced to nil. Otherwise, simply further attachment. You will have to take rebirth either as a human being or as a demigod or as an animal, as a serpent, as a bird, as a beast. You will have to take birth. So this basic principle of increasing attachment is not our business. Although it is a general tendency. Griha, Kshetra, Suta, that is home, land, children. But if one can reduce and stop it, that is first class. Therefore, our Vedic system is to first of all train a boy as a brahmachari, that is no sex life. The Vedic principle is to reduce attachment, not to increase it. Therefore, the whole system is called Varṇāśrama-dharma. The Indian system calls for Varna and Ashrama, four social orders and four spiritual orders. Brahmacharya, that is celibate student life, Grihastha, married life, Vanaprastha, retired life, and Sannyasa, renounced life. These are the spiritual orders. And the social orders consist of Brahmanas, that is intellectuals, Kshatriyas, administrators, Vaishyas, merchants and farmers, and Shudras. Those are ordinary workers. So under this system, the regulative principles are so nice that even if one has a tendency to enjoy material life, so he's so nicely molded that at last he achieves liberation and goes back home, back to Godhead. This is the process. So sex life is not required, but because we are attached to it, there are some regulative principles under which it is maintained. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Pumsa Striya Maithuna Bhavametam, Tayor Mito Hridaya Gantam Ahu, Ato Griha Kshetra Sutapa Vittair, Janasya Mohoyam Ahamame. This sex life is a basic principle of the material life, attachment for a man or woman. And when a man and woman are united, that attachment becomes increased, and that increased attachment will reduce one to accumulate griha, that is a home, and kshetra, land, suta, children, apta, friendship or society, and vitta, money. In this way, griha, kshetra, sutapa, vitta, vittai, he becomes entangled. Janasya mohoyam. This is illusion. And by this illusion, he thinks aham mameti. I am this body, and anything in this relationship with the body is mine.
What is that again?
The attachment increases. The material attachment involves thinking I am this body, and because I have this body in this particular place, this is my country, and that is going on. I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm German, I'm this, that. This is my country. I shall sacrifice everything for my country and society. So in this way, the illusion increases, and under this illusion, when he dies, he gets another body. It may be superior body or an inferior body according to his karma. So if he gets a superior body, then that is also an entanglement. If he goes to an heavenly parents, but if he become a cat or a dog, then his life is lost. Or a tree, there is every chance of it. So the science is not known in the world, how the soul is transmigrating from one body to another, how he is being entrapped in a different types of body. This science is unknown. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna lamented, how can I kill my brother or my grandfather on the other side? He was simply thinking on the basis of the bodily concept of life. But when he could not solve his problems, he surrendered to Krishna and accepted him as a spiritual master. And when Krishna became his spiritual master, he chastised Arjuna in the beginning. Gita 2.1, 2.7. Asocyananvasocastvam prajnavadanscha bhasate gatasura gatasuncha narusochanti pandita. You're talking like a learned man, but you're a fool number one because you're talking about the bodily concept of life. So sex life increases both the bodily concept of life. Therefore, the whole process is to reduce it to nil.
To reduce it to over the stages of your life?
Yes, reduce it. A boy is trained as a student up to the age of 25, restricting sex life, brahmachari. So, some of the boys remain naishtika brahmachari, celibate for life, because they are given an education and they become fully conversant with spiritual knowledge. They don't want to marry, and even if they do marry, sex life is restricted. But the basic principle is that one cannot have sex life without being married. Therefore, in human society, there is marriage, not in animal society. But people are gradually descending from the human society to animal society. They're forgetting marriage. That is also predicted in the Shastras. Dampyate bhiruchir hetu. In the Kali Yuga, the present age of quarrel, eventually there will be no marriage. The boy and the girl will simply agree to live together and their relationship will exist on the sexual power. If the man or the woman is deficient in sex life, then there is divorce. So, for this philosophy, there are many Western philosophers like Freud and others who have written so many books. But according to Vedic culture, we are interested in sex for only begetting children. That's all. Not to study the psychology of sex life. There is already natural psychology for that. Even if one does not read any philosophy, he is sexually inclined. Nobody is taught it in that schools and colleges. Everyone already knows how to do it. That is the general tendency, but education should be given to stop it. That is real education.
In America, at present, that's a radical concept.
Well, in America, there are so many things that require reformation. And this Krishna conscious movement will bring that. I went to your country and saw that the boys and girls were living as friends. So I said to my students, you cannot live together as friends. You must get yourself married.
Many people say that even marriage is not sacred, so they find no desire to marry. They see that often people get married, and if things are not proper, they get a divorce so very easily. Therefore, many people feel that to get married is not meaningful.
Their idea is that marriage is for legalized prostitution. They think like that, but that is not marriage. Even the Christian paper, what is it?
Watchtower.
Watchtower. It has criticized that one priest has allowed a marriage between two men, homosexuality. So these things are all going on. People are taking to marriage purely for prostitution. That's all. So therefore, people are thinking, what's the use of keeping a regular prostitute at such heavy expenditure? Better not to have this.
You use that example of the cow and the market.
Yes, when milk is available in the marketplace, what is the use of keeping a cow? It is very abominable condition in the Western countries. I have seen it here also in India. Gradually, it is becoming. It is coming. Therefore, we have started the Krishna conscious movement to educate people in the essential principle of spiritual life. It is not sectarian religious movement. It is a cultural movement for everyone's benefit. Chapter 3, The Real Goal of Life, Mayapur, India. This movement is especially meant to enable a human being to reach the real goal of life.
Is the real goal of life to know God?
Yes, to go back home, back to Godhead. That is the real goal of life. The water that comes from the sea form clouds. The clouds fall down as rain, and the actual goal is to flow down the river and again into the sea. So we have come from God, and now we are embarrassed by material life. Therefore, our aim should be to get out of this embarrassing situation and go back to home, back to Godhead. That is the real goal of life. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam naptuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gata. This is the version of Bhagavad Gita 8.15. Krishna says, if anyone comes to me, he does not come back again. Where? To this place. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This place is the abode of miseries. Everyone knows it, but that have been befooled by so-called leaders. Material life is miserable life. Krishna says, God says that this place is dukkhalayam. It is a place of miseries. And it is also a shashvatam, temporary. You cannot make a compromise. All right, let's be miserable. I shall remain here as an American or Indian. No, that is also you cannot do. You cannot remain an American. You may think that having been born in America, you are very happy, but you cannot remain in America for long. You will have to be kicked out of the place. And your next life, you do not know. Therefore, it is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, miserable and temporary. That is our philosophy.
But when you have some knowledge of God, then life is not so miserable.
No, some knowledge will not do. You must have perfect knowledge. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vitti tattvata. Tattvata means perfectly. Perfect knowledge is being taught in the Bhagavad Gita. So we are giving everyone in human society a chance to learn the Bhagavad Gita as it is and make his life perfect. That is the Krishna conscious movement. What does your science say about the transmigration of the soul?
I think that science cannot deny or affirm it. Science doesn't know it.
Therefore, I say that your science is imperfect.
Science may, though, say something. It is said in science that energy is never destroyed, it is changed.
That's all right. But how is the energy working in the future? The science does not know. How is the energy diverted? How by different manipulations is the energy working differently? For instance, electrical energy. By different handling, it is it is operating the heater and it is operating the refrigerator. They are just the opposite, but the electrical energy is the same. Similarly, this energy, living entity, how is it being directed? Which way is it going? How it is fructifying the next life? That they do not know. But in the Bhagavad Gita, it is very simply stated. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya. You are covered by a shirt and coat. When this shirt and coat is unusable, you change it. Similarly, this body is just like a shirt and a coat. When it is no longer workable, we have to change it.
What is the we that has to change? What is the constant?
That is the soul.
From one life to the next?
That is the soul. I. What you is speaking, what I is speaking, identity, Atma or soul.
My soul is different from your soul?
Yes, you are an individual soul. I am an individual soul.
You have removed yourself from karmic influences. If I were to remove myself from karmic influences, would our souls be the same or different?
The soul is of the same quality in all. You are under a certain conception of life at the present moment, and these countrymen of yours, just as Guru is present, were under a certain conceptions of life. But by training that, they have taken to another conception of life. So the ultimate training is how to become the Krishna consciousness. That is perfection.
If two people are Krishna conscious, is their soul the same?
The soul is always the same.
In each person, is it the same?
Yes.
If two are Krishna conscious and their souls are the same?
The soul is the same but always individual. Even if one is not Krishna conscious, for instance, you are a human being and I'm a human being. Even if I'm not a Christian, even if you're not a Hindu, still we are human beings. Similarly, the soul may not be Krishna conscious or he may be Krishna conscious. It doesn't matter. But the soul is the soul.
Can you tell me more about this?
Soul, as pure spirit, all souls are equal, even in the animal. Therefore, it is said, Pandita Samadarshana, those who are actually learned to do, those who are actually learned do not see the outward covering either a human being or an animal.
If I may ask another question on this?
Yes.
I've considered the soul somewhat as part of God. At times I think I feel God. I am here. And you may say God is here. So if the soul is inside me, then should I be able to feel God inside me? Not all of God. I mean,
Part of God.
but I don't feel God in me. But God may be there, here, separate from me. But should I be able to feel God inside me since my soul is part of God?
Yes, God is inside also. God is everywhere. God is inside and outside. This is to be known.
How do you feel God inside you?
Not in the beginning, but you have to know from the Shastra scriptures by the Vedic information. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddesher Juna Tishtati. God is there in everyone's heart. Paramanu Chayantra Chayantara Stham. God is also within every atom. So, this is the first information, and then by the yogic process, you have to realize it.
Yogic process?
Yes.
Is chanting Hare Krishna such a yogic process?
Yes, it is also a yogic process.
What kind of yogic process must I do to find out? To feel this information, to feel the soul inside.
Yes, there are many different yogic processes, but for this age, this process is very nice.
Chanting?
Yes.
Though this I can feel not only God outside but God inside.
You'll understand everything of God. How God is inside, how God is outside, how God is working. Everything will be revealed. By this attitude of service, God will reveal Himself. You cannot understand God by your endeavor. Only if God reveals Himself. For instance, when the sun is out of your sight at night, you cannot see it, your torchlight or any light. But in the morning, you can see the sun automatically without any torchlight. Similarly, you have to create a situation. You have to put yourself in a situation in which God will be revealed. It is not that by some method you can order God, come, I will see you. No, God is not your order carrier.
You must please God for Him to reveal Himself. Is that correct?
Yes.
How do we know when we are pleasing God?
When we see Him, then you will understand. Just as when you eat, you do not require to ask anything whether you're feeling strength or your hunger is satisfied. If you eat, you understand that you're feeling energy. You don't need to inquire from anyone. Similarly, if you actually serve God, then you will understand God is dictating to me. God is there. I am seeing God.
Or God's representative?
Yes.
It comes easier.
You have to go through God's representative. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. If you please God's representative, then automatically God becomes pleased, and thus you can directly see.
How can we please God's representative?
You have to carry out His orders, that's all. God's representative is a guru. He asks you to do this, to do that. If you do that, that is pleasing. Yasya prasadam nagati kutopi. If you displease the spiritual master, then you are nowhere. Therefore, we worship the Guru. Sakshat dharitvena samasta sastra uktastata bhavya atayeva satvi. The Guru should be accepted as God. That is the injunction of all the Shastras.
The Guru should be accepted as a representative of God.
Yes, the Guru is God's representative. The Guru is the external manifestation of Krishna.
But different from the incarnations of Krishna that come.
Yes.
In what way is the external manifestation of the Guru different from the external manifestation of, let us say, Krishna or Chaitanya when they come to earth?
The Guru is a representative of Krishna. So there are symptoms of who is Guru. The general symptoms are described in the Vedas. Tat vijñārtham sa gurum eva vigachet samithanis rotayitvam brahmanistham. A guru must come in disciplic succession and he must have heard thoroughly about the Vedas from his spiritual master. Generally, a guru's symptom is that he is perfect devotee. That's all. And he serves Krishna by preaching his message.
Lord Chaitanya, he was a different type of Guru than you are?
No, gurus cannot be of different types. All gurus are of one type.
But was he also an incarnation at the same time?
Yes, he is Krishna himself, but he is representing the Guru.
I see.
Yeah. Because Krishna was God, he demanded Sarva-dharma parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. But people misunderstood him. Therefore, Krishna again came as a guru and taught people how to surrender to Krishna.
Doesn't Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita, I am the spiritual master?
Yes, he is the original spiritual master because he was accepted as spiritual master by Arjuna. So what is the difficulty? Arjuna told the Lord, Shishyasteham sadivam tvam prapannam. I am your disciple and his soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So unless Krishna is a spiritual master, how does Arjuna become his disciple? Krishna is the original Guru. Tene brahmaradaye adikavaye. It is he only who imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahma, the first created being. Therefore, he is the original Guru.
Krishna?
Yes, he is the original Guru. Then his disciple Brahma is a Guru. The Brahma's disciple Narada is a Guru. The Narada's disciple Vyasa is a Guru. In this way, there is a Guru Parampara, a disciplic succession of Gurus. Evam Parampara Praptam. The transcendental knowledge is received through the disciplic succession.
So a Guru receives his knowledge through the disciplic succession, not directly from Krishna. Do you receive some knowledge directly from Krishna?
Yes, Krishna's direct instruction is there. That is Bhagavad Gita.
I see, but
you have to learn it through the disciplic succession. Otherwise, you will be misunderstand it.
But presently you do not receive information directly from Krishna. It comes to the disciplic succession from the books.
There is no difference. Suppose I say that this is a pencil. If you say to him, this is a pencil, and if he says to another man, that is a pencil, then what is the difference between his instruction and my instruction?
Krishna's mercy allows you to know this now?
You can take Krishna's mercy also, provided it is delivered as it is. Just as we are teaching the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavad Gita 18.6, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. Just give up all the forms of religion and simply surrender unto me. Now we are saying that you should give up everything and surrender to Krishna. Therefore, there is no difference between Krishna's instruction and our instruction. There is no deviation. So if you can receive knowledge in that perfect way, that is as good as receiving instruction directly from Krishna. But we don't change anything.
When I pray reverently, faithfully, does Krishna hear me?
Yes.
From me to him?
Yes, because he is within your heart. He is always hearing you. Whether you are praying or not, or not praying. When you are doing some nonsense, he is also hearing you. And when you pray, that is very good. Welcome.
To Krishna's ear, is praying louder than nonsense?
No, he is all perfect. He can hear everything. If you don't speak, even if you simply think I shall do it, then he hears you. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta. Krishna is seated in everyone's heart.
But one should pray. Is that so?
That is one's only business. Pray.
Whose business?
Every living entities. That is the only business. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. That is the statement of the Vedas.
What does that mean?
He supplies everything to everyone. He is supplying food to everyone. So he's a father. So why should you not pray, Father, give me this? Just as the Christian Bible, there is a prayer, Father, give us our daily bread. That's what they are accepting the Supreme Father. But grown-up children should not ask him Father. Rather, they should be prepared to serve the Father. That is bhakti, devotion.
My questions you solve so nicely.
Thank you very much.
So should I ask you another question now?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So for today, let's wind up the 3 chapters we have studied from perfect questions and perfect answers. Hope everyone understood it.
Thank you
Yeah.
for joining.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Bol.